Heartland Season 19 Episode 6 picks up right where things left off. And you can feel the tension before anyone even speaks. Amy's still trying to hold it together after that mess with the Olympian's horse. But you can tell it's eating her alive. Her smile's still there, but her eyes say something else, like she's replaying every second of that day in her head, searching for answers she already knows. The town might have moved on, but gossip in Hudson doesn't die that easy. Every sideways glance, every fake smile reminds her she's not fully forgiven yet. And the worst part? She's starting to believe maybe she doesn't deserve to be. Meanwhile, Nathan's trying to act like everything's normal. But even he can't hide the storm brewing under the surface. His sister's been keeping her distance since Amy started suspecting her. But word's getting around that she's up to something again. Nobody's saying it out loud, but everyone's thinking the same thing. What if Amy's right? What if Nathan's sister really did something to those horses? That question alone is enough to shake the calm of Hudson, because when you mess with Amy's name, you mess with Heartland itself. The episode kicks into high gear when Amy starts getting strange calls from old clients. Some of them sound nervous, others angry. But all of them have one thing in common: they're saying their horses have been acting off lately. Just like the Olympian's horse did before it fell sick. And right there, you can see it in Amy's face. She knows this isn't over. Someone's still out there trying to ruin her, and if she doesn't figure it out fast, she could lose everything again. This isn't just about her career anymore. This is personal. Amy starts connecting the dots, going through her old appointment records and notes like a detective. Every detail matters: dates, times, who she saw, what she touched. She's desperate for a pattern, something that makes sense. And then she finds it. Every horse that's fallen recently had one thing in common: Nathan's sister was nearby at some point. Whether it was a quick visit, a delivery, or some casual excuse, she always managed to be around. That's when Amy's heart drops, because this isn't just bad luck. Someone's setting her up again, piece by piece, waiting for her to break. And just as she's trying to process all this, things take another wild turn. Spartan starts acting strange again. He's not eating right, not resting well. And that alone is enough to set off every alarm in Amy's head. She rushes to check on him, calling in every vet she knows, terrified that this might be the beginning of another nightmare. But this time, something feels different. The vets can't find anything wrong: no illness, no infection, nothing that explains his behavior. It's like he's reacting to the tension around him, like he knows something Amy doesn't. The weight of it all starts to hit her. The pressure, the rumors, the guilt, it's too much. For the first time in a long time, Amy questions herself, her instincts, her entire gift. Maybe this isn't just someone sabotaging her work. Maybe the universe itself is testing her, pushing her to see how far she'll go before she breaks. You can almost feel her holding her breath, like she's standing on a cliff between fight and surrender. But if there's one thing we know about Amy Fleming, it's that she never backs down when her family or her horses are on the line. By the end of this first part, Amy makes a decision that changes everything. She's done waiting for proof. She's going to expose Nathan's sister herself, one way or another. Even if it costs her the little piece she has left, she's ready to face whatever storm comes next. Because this time, she's not just fighting for her name. She's fighting for the truth. The next morning in Hudson feels heavy, like the whole town's holding its breath. Amy barely slept, and it shows. She's got that quiet fire in her eyes, the kind that means she's done being the victim. The first thing she does is head straight to the barn, checking on Spartan again. He's still uneasy, pacing a little, and she can't shake the feeling that it's connected somehow. Every move he makes feels like a warning, like he's sensing something she hasn't seen yet. And that's when Jack walks in, trying to calm her down, saying she's working herself too hard. But Amy knows better. She's been around horses her whole life, and her gut's never been wrong. Something isn't right, and she's about to find out what. Jack tries to convince her to leave things alone, to focus on healing her name through hard work instead of chasing conspiracies. But that word, conspiracy, hits her wrong. Because deep down, she knows that's exactly what this is. Someone's playing dirty, using her kindness against her. So she doesn't argue back. She just nods, brushes Spartan's mane, and makes a silent promise to find out the truth, even if it means going against everyone she loves. Meanwhile, Nathan's in his own world, stuck between loyalty and guilt. He knows his sister's been off lately, sneaking around, taking calls she won't explain. But he keeps telling himself it's nothing serious. He wants to believe she's changed, that she wouldn't cross that line again. But there's a part of him, small, quiet, but persistent, that's scared Amy might be right. And that's what tears him apart. He loves Amy, but blood is blood. If she's right, it means his own sister tried to destroy the woman he cares about most. And that's something he's not ready to face. Things get even messier when a reporter shows up at Heartland. Out of nowhere, she starts asking questions about the Olympian's horse, Amy's business, and all the rumors swirling around Hudson. Amy tries to keep calm, answering what she can, but you can see the frustration building. The more she talks, the more it sounds like she's defending herself. And that's exactly how the reporter twists it. By the time the piece airs that evening, the headline alone makes her blood boil. Fallen star of Heartland, is Amy Fleming losing her touch? That one line spreads faster than wildfire. Clients start canceling appointments again, people start whispering. And Amy realizes she's got no choice but to take control of the story herself. That night, she sits in the barn with Spartan, whispering everything she can't say out loud. They think they can break me, she says softly, but they don't know who I am. It's a raw moment, no audience, no camera, just her and her horse, like it's always been. And in that silence, she remembers something the day the Olympian's horse got sick. She noticed a small cut near its saddle, like a needle mark. At the time, she brushed it off, but now it feels too specific to ignore. It's a clue, and maybe the only one she has left. The next morning, Amy tracks down the vet who treated the Olympian's horse. She asks for the full report, every detail. The vet hesitates at first but eventually admits something strange. There was a trace of a foreign substance found in the horse's system. Something used to trigger temporary illness in animals. The vet didn't think much of it then, assuming it was an accident or cross-contamination. But Amy knows better. That's the proof she's been looking for. Someone injected that horse on purpose, and just when you think Amy's finally catching a break, things flip again. As she leaves the clinic, she spots Nathan's sister sitting in her car across the street, watching her. No words, no gestures, just that cold, smug look that says, "You're getting too close." It sends a chill down Amy's spine. For the first time, she feels real fear, not for herself, but for what this woman might do next. Because if she's bold enough to ruin Amy's reputation, who's to say she won't go after someone Amy loves next? By the end of the episode, Amy's not just angry anymore, she's ready for war. She's got proof, she's got motive, and she's got nothing left to lose. As the screen fades, you can almost feel it, the calm before everything explodes. Hudson's about to find out just how far Amy Fleming will go when someone tries to take her down. When the next day dawns, Hudson's quiet again, but it's that eerie kind of quiet, the one that means something's coming. Amy barely speaks through breakfast, lost in her own thoughts while Lou watches her from across the table. Lou's been trying to stay out of it, but even she can tell Amy's getting pulled deeper into something dangerous. The way Amy moves, the way she stares out the window, it's not just about saving her name anymore. It's about ending this once and for all. Later that afternoon, Amy shows up at Nathan's ranch unannounced. You can tell Nathan's surprised to see her, but there's this tension in his voice, like he already knows what she came for. Amy doesn't waste time. She lays it all out, the vet report, the pattern she found, everything. Nathan listens, quiet at first, but when she mentions his sister's name, he freezes. You can almost feel the wall go up between them. "You're saying my sister poisoned those horses?" he asks, his tone cold and disbelieving. Amy nods, steady but soft, explaining she doesn't want to believe it either. But the evidence keeps pointing that way. Nathan's face tightens. He doesn't yell, but his silence says enough. He tells her to leave, that he needs time to think. And as she walks out, you can see it breaking her because she knows she might have just lost him for good. Meanwhile, back at Heartland, strange things start happening again. The fences she fixed yesterday are mysteriously loose. Tools go missing. A shadow moves behind the barn at night. Jack notices it too. But he doesn't say much, he just doubles up on checking locks and keeping an eye on Amy. He's old school. He knows when someone's being targeted. And now, it's not just Amy's reputation on the line, it's her safety. That night, Amy's working late in the barn when she hears Spartan kicking at his stall. She rushes over and finds a small needle on the ground, the same kind she saw in the vet report. Her heart stops. Someone was here. Someone tried to hurt Spartan again. The fear turns to rage in seconds. She storms out, checking the yard, but whoever it was is already gone. And that's when she realizes it's not just about ruining her business anymore. It's about sending a message. The next morning, she calls the sheriff, but of course, it doesn't go how she hopes. There's no proof, no fingerprints, no cameras. They promise to look into it. But Amy knows what that means. Nothing's going to happen unless she handles it herself. So she decides to set a trap. She tells everyone she's leaving town for a few days to clear her head, but secretly, she stays hidden in the barn with Spartan that night, waiting. Every creak, every gust of wind makes her tense. But she stays still, clutching her phone, ready to record anything that moves. Hours pass. And just when she starts to think maybe she was wrong, the barn door creaks open. A figure slips inside, flashlight in hand. Amy's breath catches. The beam sweeps across the stalls, and for a second, she sees the face, Nathan's sister. She's holding a small vial, moving toward Spartan's stall. Amy's hand trembles, but she forces herself to step forward, hitting record. "What are you doing?" she says, her voice low but sharp. The woman freezes, caught in the act. For a moment, there's silence. Just the sound of Spartan snorting nervously. Then Nathan's sister tries to play it off, laughing, saying she was just checking on the horse. But Amy's not buying it. She steps closer, keeping her phone pointed at her. "You tried to ruin me," she says, her voice shaking with anger. "You hurt innocent animals just to get back at me." The woman's smile fades, and for the first time, you see guilt flicker across her face. But before Amy can say more, the woman bolts, running out into the dark, jumping into her truck, and speeding off down the road. Amy's left standing there, heart pounding, holding the proof she's been chasing for weeks. By sunrise, the whole ranch knows what happened. Jack calls the sheriff again, this time with the video. There's no denying it now, Nathan's sister's behind everything. But the victory doesn't feel as sweet as it should. Amy looks tired, almost hollow. She got her proof, but it came at a cost. Because while she was fighting to save her name, she lost something else: Nathan's trust. She knows when the truth comes out, it's going to destroy him. But what choice did she have? Sometimes, the only way to protect what you love is to face the pain that comes with it. And that's exactly where Amy stands now, caught between justice and heartbreak. The storm's not over yet. It's just changing shape. By the time the truth spreads through Hudson, it feels like the whole town's been turned upside down. Everyone's got something to say now. The same people who doubted Amy are suddenly acting like they were on her side all along. That's just how folks are around here: quiet when things get ugly, loud when the dust settles. Amy doesn't even bother to argue. She's too drained for that. She's cleared her name, but instead of relief, there's this heavy silence following her everywhere she goes. You can see it in her eyes. She's relieved it's over, but not happy. Because deep down, she knows the fallout has only just begun. Nathan shows up at Heartland later that afternoon, and for a second, it feels like the old days again. But then you see the look on his face, torn between anger, guilt, and heartbreak. He's holding Amy's phone, the same one she used to record his sister. He doesn't yell, he doesn't accuse, but his words cut deep. "You had to do it like that?" he says quietly. Amy doesn't answer right away. There's no right way to ruin someone's life, even if they deserve it. And she knows how much this hurts him. She tells him she didn't do it to destroy his sister, she did it to save herself. To protect Spartan. To stop the lies before they swallowed everything she built. Nathan just nods, but you can tell he's not ready to forgive her. His world's been split in half, and he's caught in the middle after he leaves. Amy breaks down for the first time in days. All that strength she's been holding onto just crumbles. Jack finds her sitting alone by the fence, staring at the open field. Silent tears running down her face. He doesn't say much, he just sits beside her, the way he always does when words won't fix anything. "You did what you had to do," he finally says, voice steady but soft. "Sometimes doing the right thing still hurts like hell." Amy nods, but it doesn't make it easier. Because even though she knows he's right, it doesn't stop her heart from aching. In town, the sheriff confirms that Nathan's sister confessed everything. She admitted to sabotaging the horses, spreading rumors, and trying to ruin Amy's reputation out of jealousy and resentment. Turns out, she couldn't stand how everyone praised Amy after her mother's death, while she felt invisible. It's twisted, but it explains everything. Amy listens as the sheriff goes over the report, feeling this strange mix of pity and disgust. She doesn't hate the woman, she just wishes she'd chosen a different path. But Hudson's small, and forgiveness doesn't come easy. Everyone's whispering about it now, about how Amy brought down someone from Nathan's family. It's the kind of gossip that doesn't fade quick. As if things weren't complicated enough. Lou tries to talk sense into Amy. She reminds her that love doesn't just disappear overnight. That Nathan will come around when he's ready. But Amy's not sure. She's seen that look in his eyes before, the one that says too much has been said to go back. Still, deep down, she hopes Lou's right. Because even after everything, she can't shake what she feels for him. And maybe that's the cruel part of it all. She did what she had to do. But the price was the one thing her heart didn't want to lose. Later that night, Amy's alone in the barn again, brushing Spartan. The moonlight spills through the open door, quiet and cold. Spartan's finally calm, and for the first time in weeks, he seems at peace. Amy leans her forehead against him, whispering softly, "We made it through." And you can almost feel the weight lifting off her shoulders. But just as she starts to breathe again, there's a knock on the door. It's Nathan. He doesn't say much at first, just stands there watching her. Amy turns, unsure what to expect, another fight or maybe something worse. But Nathan just sighs and says, "I know you didn't mean to hurt me." His voice cracks a little. And you can tell he's been fighting his own battles too. He admits that he confronted his sister before she confessed. And that was the hardest thing he's ever done. "You were right," he says quietly. I just didn't want to believe it. Amy steps closer, tears in her eyes, but she doesn't speak. There's nothing left to say. The truth's out, but so is the pain. They stand there in silence, two broken hearts that still somehow find comfort in each other's presence. When Nathan finally leaves, Amy doesn't stop him. She knows some things take time to heal. Maybe this will too. Maybe it won't, but one thing's for sure, Amy's not the same woman she was a few weeks ago. She's tougher now, wiser, and ready for whatever comes next. Because if this episode proved anything, it's that even when life tries to break her, Amy Fleming always finds her way back, and just as the episode closes, you can sense it, the quiet before the next storm. Because in Heartland, peace never lasts too long. The morning after everything blows over, Hudson feels strangely calm, almost unreal. Amy's up early as usual, checking on Spartan, making sure he's eating well, that he's behaving normally. She's learned the hard way that peace doesn't last long in this town, but for now, she takes it small victories matter, and right now, Spartan is healthy and the barn is quiet. Amy's still processing the events of the last few days, replaying conversations, the confessions, the heartbreak, and the moments when she thought she might lose everything. It's a lot for one person to handle, but she's facing it, as always, head on. Even Nathan has started to process what happened. He's still distant, and you can tell he's protecting his heart. He loves Amy, that much hasn't changed, but trust takes time to rebuild. He's not ready to jump back in, and Amy knows it. There's no rush. She's been through storms before, and she understands that some battles leave marks that don't disappear overnight. But that doesn't mean they can't heal. She respects the space he needs, knowing deep down that when the moment is right, they'll find their way back to each other. Amy takes a walk through the barn, touching the horses gently, whispering to them, reconnecting after the tension and fear of the last few days. Each horse she cares for is a reminder of why she does this job: the love, the trust, the bond that can never be broken, no matter the outside world. She reflects on how fragile life can be, how quickly rumors and sabotage can turn a perfect world upside down. And yet, even in chaos, there's a lesson: resilience. Courage isn't always about winning every battle. Sometimes it's about standing back up, learning, and moving forward, even when everything tries to knock you down. Later in the day, Lou checks in on Amy. She smiles softly, seeing the determination in her friend's eyes. Lou reminds her that the people who matter, the ones who truly care, see her for who she really is. All the rumors, all the whispers, all the sabotage, none of it changes the truth about Amy's skill, heart, or dedication. Lou's words hit home. In a way, this is more than just a victory over Nathan's sister. It's a reminder that Amy's worth doesn't depend on anyone else's opinion. She has her talents, her integrity, and her love for the horses and the land. That's what truly defines her. By the end of the episode, Amy stands outside, looking at the sprawling fields of Heartland under the golden sunset. Spartan grazes nearby, calm and healthy. Nathan is still at a distance, but for now, that doesn't matter. Amy knows what she's capable of, and she knows what she stands for. She's survived the sabotage, the heartbreak, the betrayal, and she's come out stronger. And that's the ultimate lesson of this episode. Life will throw challenges. People will betray or test you, but strength, courage, and perseverance will always carry you through. Amy Fleming isn't just a caretaker of horses, she's a fighter, a truth seeker, and a survivor. So, for anyone watching this, take a page from Amy's story. Don't let others define your worth. Never back down from what you believe in. And remember that even in the darkest storms, there's always a way forward. You might get hurt, you might face setbacks, but resilience, determination, and love will always light the path. And if Heartland Season 19 Episode 6 taught us anything, it's that sometimes the hardest battles teach you the most important lessons, not just about the world, but about yourself.